This is an interesting story about a treasure that was actually found in an Indian temple last year. Now, this story, it has an update, though, a more recent update from just a couple months ago. Maybe people have not heard of this. It's from the timesofmalta.com, July 2nd, 2011, and there is an update just a couple months from ago. Billions worth of treasure was found in an Indian temple. Now, I always found this interesting because there's a lot of wealth that's totally hidden. When we look up in Forbes, how much is so and so worth? You really don't know how much so and so is worth. I found out, wow, there's a lot of stuff out there. A lot more than I expected. I knew about things back, I'd say, since the early 80s when I was more privy to some things that were told to me, working in places that people had far more wealth than was displayed, hidden wealth. For instance, there could be expensive jewelry that could be worth many millions that's in the vaults of a naval facility that's being stored. I've come across things like this where people had this, but nobody really knows they have it. Nobody. They could be European and it's stored in the United States. Nobody knows they have it. What I find interesting about this also is the religious twist. And that's why sometimes there's people that are actually religious and spiritual, and there's some people, I don't know what the heck the deal is with them, but this is an Indian temple. It's a treasure trove of gold and silver, jewelry, coins, and precious stones, said to be worth billions of dollars, found in a Hindu temple in southern India. This was back in 2011. Now, at the time, they valued it at $11.2 billion. Thousands of necklaces, coins, and precious stones have been kept in at least 5 underground vaults in this temple. I'm not going to say it's Padmanabhaswamy Temple, which is renowned for its intricate sculptures. And they said there's one more secret chamber that has not been opened in nearly 140 years. It makes you wonder, how much is really out there. Now, it doesn't really matter because you won't get in our pockets, that's for sure. But this goes on and states this is April 21st, 2012, the actual jewelry that was actually found in precious stones is now up to $22 billion, and it's all being categorized. And it's being done by the management of the temple. The government's not taking over anything. They're just, they're going to provide security and stuff like that. Now, what I contrast this with is the number of starving people in India. I mean, it's probably about 30% that are definitely underfed, undernourished, to say the least. Now, I guess you could say, yeah, we could buy a bunch of meals for that with the money from the temple, but it doesn't solve anything permanently. But it does make me call into question why the infrastructure is not made to, help people feed themselves. In other words, infrastructure such as irrigation and cultivation of farmland that would produce crops such as hemp. Hemp would probably be a very good one. Provide protein and stuff. And actually there's a number of grains that the Aztecs used that could probably be grown in India that provide a complete protein. Now, if people keep multiplying like crazy, the problem's going to come right back. I know that. So it's almost like, but I think this is still extremely lopsided. You have this temple that is had stored away $22 billion worth of stuff. And it's all about offering to some god or gods or whatever. But in the meantime, there's billions of people that are starving in the streets in India. And it just works the same way with the supposed economic revolution that's going on in India. There's a small number of people that are making a hell of a lot of money, while most of the population starves. And, I'd have to actually state that this is one of the reasons you need to be holding gold and silver more than anything, because, they're talking about deflation, and It's not going to be. They're talking about this garbage back in 2011. Right now, it looks more like deflation. But I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. And, you know, unfortunately, all this gold is only in the hands of the people that run this temple. So, and they actually have higher authority than the people in the government. And it's because people believe in this stuff. They're crazy. That's what I think sometimes. And I don't know what these people do with this wealth. They just look at it or whatever the hell they do. But it would actually buy a tiny percentage of this wealth, even if it was used for display purposes, tourist purposes, that type of thing, where people, you could market it and state that, this is what this is, charge admission for people to look at things or whatever the hell it is. And even that revenue could be put to a lot of good purpose. But I don't know. Sometimes I think the religious people throughout the world sometimes are the worst ones going. They got a scam and a half. They do. And not that I really think anything bad about Christian or Hindu or Jewish. Islam, I got a couple problems with that religion. That they got some real extremism there. But religion is a big racket. And it's like we got the criticism of the Vatican, which could be a racket too. And we got it everywhere. We got it everywhere. Everywhere, These guys are the biggest bunch of crooks going in the world. And I find it amazing that, they said there was 2.5 crore missing from jewelry missing from the temple, which comes out to like that 2.5 crore. That means like you multiply that by 10 million for rupees, right? So that's really like, I don't know, $500,000 or something, I think. And, I actually think that whoever stole that garbage from the temple probably is doing a population a good deed. Even if they stole it for themselves and they decide to build themselves a built-in swimming pool, or they're gonna buy it on, even if they blow it on hookers, the hookers are gonna have to spend the money someplace, and they'll spend it within the population rather than just sitting in this temple. So I have a very different view upon religion in a lot of ways. I'd probably have my own cult someday if these guys got a nice tax-free racket, and I'll set my own rules because these guys are unbelievable. I mean, I could, if I had this kind of wealth, like the way these people have, I would never just hoard it the way they are. They're cold. They're cold. But, somehow they need to appease the gods or whatever the hell they're doing. So, while people are basically starving in India. So much for that. But in a way, it's interesting because there's a lot of hidden wealth out there. The books, the accounting records only state so much. In reality, the smartest, the shrewdest keep their cards tight to their chest and they never say a word. And the religious people got the best